something has been on my mind for a while, and because I don't understand why it doesn't already exist, so I wanted to make a video and talk about it. Like I said, it's very possible that it already exists. I know personalization is something that has been proliferating for a while now, and there's a bunch of companies that specialize in creating personalized solutions, but I don't see too many examples of it. Like, I still don't see it out in the wild as much. Now, I know two things. There are two things that I know of where personalization is actually used quite well and quite effectively. One is retargeting ads, and I know on that front there's been retargeting works really well, and now there's a lot of personalization that is kind of built into the engine. And I also know that tools like HubSpot, they use a lot of personalization as well. So if you read a blog post and you come back to the website, they can maybe change the messaging and stuff like that. So I know that there are tools out there and there are solutions out there for personalization. I just don't see too many examples of personalization out in the wild. So because I don't see it as much, I've actually decided to think about it more and think about it as something that more retailers should incorporate into their strategy. So I'm going to call it, and the term we are using internally is choreographed experiences. So for the most part, most websites are completely fully static, right? So if you go to a product page and you read you see the product, they've spent a lot of effort to make an amazing product description. They've done lots of testing for it. But once it's designed, once it's created, it's taken live and it's live forever. It doesn't matter which state you're visiting from. It doesn't matter that people maybe from Florida would have a different, way of reading that description, or maybe if you're reading it at 11:30 at night after having a couple of drinks, you might have a different reaction to it. My point is that even we have this weird assumption that people who are reading our websites, or people who are reading our content, or who are reading our message, and I think this kind of comes from the broadcast world, where P&G would come up with an ad and then they would blast it to millions of Americans all across the world, actually, people, and they would be the exact same ad over and over again. Well, we don't have to follow that paradigm anymore, because now we know that there isn't anything known as the perfect product or the perfect formulation. It is the perfect products or the perfect formulations. This is the reason why Pepsi has so many different varieties of beverages and Coke has so many different varieties, because some people have different preferences. Anyway, I'm kind of going on a tangent. Let me get to my point. The point I'm trying to make is that the guys at the Bossly team who manage their website obviously track all of this data. They have this really rich customer journey that is tracked and recorded on their website. And they can very easily know what are some of what we would call conversion catalyst, or what we would also call focal points. What are some of the things that people do on their website in order to convert, right? So my point is that let's look at a scenario. I'm just going to draw a scenario, and you can visualize it with me. Let's say that I go to the Bossy website for the very first time. Okay. Now, after 4 days, I come back to the website using the exact same browser, using the exact same device. I come back to the website, and this time let's say the first time when I come, I am just kind of maybe looking at maybe I've watched this video over here. Maybe I've seen the hair results page. So that's what I've done. So I came to the hair results page. I saw the hair results. I cycled through a lot of the options, right? Oh, they just have 2 pages. Well, that's stupid. Okay. So let's say I went through the two pages of results. I spent 4 minutes on this page. So here's my point. These guys already know that the average converter probably spends, let's say, 5 minutes on this page. So I spent 4 minutes on this page, which means I'm very much in that group of people that are serious readers, because it's very different if I'd only spent 10 seconds on the page, right? Not only did I spend 4 minutes, I actually scrolled down and I saw this, and I saw, I don't know what else this is, but oh, there are more images. Okay. So now I can see there are more images. I kind of went through this whole thing, and I then went back to the home page. And when I went to the home page, I completely am ignoring this offer. Think about what I'm saying over here. So there's this offer that they have, $250 off. I'm completely ignoring it. But I did watch the video as well. I'm not going to play it, but I'm just going to emulate the scenario. My point is that the fact that I ignored the offer, the fact that I'm going for the before and after pictures, the fact that I'm looking at the video, one could argue I'm early in the buying process. So I'm not really price sensitive right now because I'm not paying for it anytime soon, but I am researching, right? Let's say then I come back after 4 days, and this time I'm actually looking at locations and I'm looking at get offer option. And I come here and I literally look at it for 4 seconds and I leave. Okay. That also tells Bossly something about me. There's a difference between someone who comes to that page and leaves right away and then someone who comes to that page and spends 4 minutes. Whoa, what's going on? Stop. Okay, so my point is then there's also this option of free info kit. So let's my I guess the whole point I'm trying to make is that all of this user behavior that I'm doing, this user behavior is telling Bossly who I am. It's telling them about my interests, my inclinations. So let's say that Bossly were to know that let's see. Oh, there's another page over here called Why Choose Bossly. And by the way, none of this is prepared. I'm just kind of literally going through the website. Now, let's say I come back to the website, but this time I come back to the website at maybe like 10:30 at night PM, right? So this could imply that I am now getting even more serious about the product, and maybe the wife and the kids are sleeping and I want to play around with the website to see a little more about it. And if I come on the weekends, that also means something different. So what I mean by, and I've not presented this in the most compelling way. Hopefully it still kind of makes sense. What I'm really trying to say in the simplest way I can is that all of these use cases, all of these usage patterns are painting a very specific customer. They're painting a very specific aspiration. And I'm surprised and I'm wondering why the website isn't responding. Once they've put me in a certain bucket, why aren't they responding to me in different ways? Because the fact of the matter is that if you were to go to Bossly right now and have your friends go to Bossly, they would see the exact same homepage. If you were to come back after 10 days and set a cookie and all that stuff, you would continue seeing the same thing. This web experience is identical for every single person who goes to the website. The locations is going to be the fourth link. The sliding banner is going to work exactly the same way. It's going to have the same sequence of images, and I do not understand why that's the case. I think there's a huge opportunity for retailers to start incorporating business logic into the functionality for their websites, and where they can serve up different content depending on how people respond to it or how people consume the content on their website, and significantly improve conversion rate.